Hey guys, welcome to episode 11 of the 7th and final season here at Sunderland. We should get this season finished before FIFA 20 comes out next week, and hopefully we'll be ending it with a few trophies as well. We're going to start by simming this game, even though it's away from home against Cardiff, because we want to play the second leg against Real Betis after losing by 5-3 in the first leg. Remarkable game, and obviously we want to play the FA Cup quarter-final against Manchester United as well, and then we'll have Crystal Palace away from home at the end of the episode, unless the semi-final is drawn in the FA Cup here, but I doubt it. I think the semi-final will come in April, and then obviously the final, should we make it, at the end of the season. So Cardiff will be the one that we sim, and then we'll see what we can do against Betis. I'm actually going to sim it with the rotation side to ensure that the majority of my first team players are at 100% fitness for the game against Betis, because Christ knows they are my bogey team. The game in the last episode, if you missed it, you definitely need to watch it, because my word, was it an end-to-end game of football. 5-3 we lost in the end, and well, we've got a mountain to climb today to get ourselves through to the quarterfinals of the Champions League. And to be fair, if we get through in that game against Betis, there might be another round of the Champions League drawn before the end of the month. It does look like we're going to sneak a win here away from against Cardiff, so I'm glad that the simulation away from home hasn't cost us any points, so we can crack on, get ourselves further towards that game against Betis. We're not on track apparently. We don't care about the youth objectives because this is the final season. Right, Real Betis coming up next in the Champions League second leg. I need to win by 2 goals at least. Right, Betis' starting lineup is the same as the first leg. Ryan Thomas set them off with a cracking goal at the beginning of that one, but seemed everybody wanted to get in on the act in that first game on both sides. 8 goals in total. I'd be happy with a 2-0 win here, but the chances of me keeping a clean sheet against Real Betis are slim to none at the very best. They always score against me, and they always score a lot against me. And we do have 3 away goals in our favour here, so we might have to lean on those to get ourselves through. Hopefully we'll start in a positive way. Yuritino was trying to find some space here, which he's done brilliantly, and draws the save out of Pau Lopez, but denied a corner by alert defending from Lainez. Unfortunately, we aren't able to take an early 1-0 lead, but we do only, he says only, need to win by 2. So, provided we can have a positive start, get ourselves 1 goal early on, we might well stand a chance. But this is going to be such a tough game of football as the first leg was. We just need to this time not concede 5 goals. Here's Thomas. Cross there to Lainez. Wait for the turn. It didn't come. Came then instead. They're just unpredictable, Betis. It's great football. Thankfully, the runner from deep on this occasion was marked. It was our main downfall in the first leg against them, was that every time they came forward, they had a man free in the middle, and they were able to just tuck it home. Oh, Harrison, it's a heavy touch. It's forced him wide from the run, and then wide from the shot as well. If he takes any stride better, he gets himself a better angle for the shot. I had to take it, really. I couldn't turn and wait for support. There were just too many defenders in and around me. Well, that was a great opportunity to take a 1-0 lead that we haven't been able to take. Lainez, Ryan Thomas again. Maulida tackled. Kai Havertz has the ball taken away from him as well. Miguel stealing it away from him. Then he gets nutmegged by Giovanni Lo Celso. This is not going well for Kai Havertz so far. Our leader back. I fouled him there. Will they take the free kick? They will. Still a 2-goal deficit. They go 1-0 up here. It'll be a 3-goal deficit. What a save from Lunin. Corner for Real Betis. Good free kick that for Giovanni Lo Celso. He'll take the corner as well. And it's another good delivery, but Kai Havertz heads it away. Try and chase it down. They're going to take the throw, and they're not. They want to keep it in play, keep the ball alive. Ryan Thomas with the delivery. Lunin. Oh, it's just going to get away. And then over the bar from Miguel. That's still dangerous from Betis. And Lunin, they can be slightly worried there when he tipped that. Almost seems as if he was going to tip it over the defender and into the path of the Betis man. Jack Clark playing on the right-hand side of midfield at the minute because we've decided to drop Rafinha after a couple of poor performances. Jack Clark could turn here and find a teammate, which he does! And it's Kai Havertz, or that it was Shalov. Kai Havertz brings us back into the tie. He was the one that played it out wide. It's a 1-2. Smashing it home from 5 yards. 1-0 up on the night. Still 5-4 down on aggregate. A long way to go. Our leader's just forced his way past Yuri Tielemans there. Here's Grilic. Through to Maulida again. Ryan Thomas. Oh, well cut out by Ferland Mendy. And we've broken away well there. Oh, Wan-Bissaka's having trouble. Roberts won it back off him. Maulida to Miguel. Looking for Grilic. Oh, space on the far side. I see that there for Lainez. Which way is he going to go? Is he going to drop the shoulder? Is he going to cross? He's going to do both. Long lay away. Where's that? Oh, Jesus, this is getting nervy now at the back. Getting particularly worried every single time Betty's come forward. So nervous at letting this chance to get through to the quarterfinals of the Champions League go. Chalov looking for the runner. Harrison not going to find him. We're going to be 1-0 up at half-time. Still 5-4 down on aggregate, but score one more and then leave it at that, and we'll go through on away goals. Grilic. This is good football from Betis. Oh, and they're still coming forward here. Easy enough for the keeper. Luna will pump this forward, and Chalov will try and flick it on towards George Harrison, which he can't do. Now, we did get knocked out of the Europa League last year by Real Betis. They did go on to reach the final. I can't remember whether they won it or not, Real Betis, last year. But they certainly went all the way to the final after knocking us out at the round of 16 stage last year there as well. Jack Clark is the man in space. It's who we're looking for. He's buried it! I didn't quite think it was going to find its way through. But Jack Clark makes it 2-0 on the night. 5-5 on aggregate. And on away goals, as things stand, we're in the quarterfinals. Oh, that's Kai Havertz. Out to Wan-Bissaka. Inside to Kai Havertz again. Don't know which way to go. Still hounding me everywhere I go here. Betis. Harrison. Oh, he's just about to try and squeeze that through the gap to Yuri Tielemans, but the fact that Tielemans has pushed forward, that means that we're short on numbers in the midfield, and they've picked their way through us. Francis in behind here. Oh, he's nutmegged the defender. Kai Havertz tries to get back. Lunin diving away to make the save. Just over 15 minutes to go. Things are going to get really, really nervy at the back if we aren't able to grab one more. I'm going to drill this into the middle looking for Chalov, but it's picked off well by the defender. It's going to get stretched in the final few minutes this game, and hopefully we can hang on. Here's Lainez. Coming at me again here, Betis. One goal will sway it. Oh, jeeps. Where the keeper just looked at that had me really worried. Try and get this down the line there to Kai Havertz. It's coming off soon, Kai, to be replaced by Alexis McAllister. Yuri Tielemans will look for George Harrison. He had a chance right at the beginning of the game, wasn't able to take it. Buries this one! The relief is palpable. Sunderland 3, Real Betis 0. We are going to go through to the quarter-finals of the Champions League. His 8th goal of the Champions League season, George Harrison. There will be people questioning whether I've altered my sliders. For some reason, people question my sliders all the time when I have like a poor result and then go and have a positive result after that. My sliders are the same. I don't change. I don't cheat. I don't do anything. Sometimes games just swing one way over another. Thankfully, this is one of those occasions. We're going to win by 3-0 here. Well, I hope we're going to win by 3-0 here against Real Betis. We're 6-5 up on aggregate, meaning with those 3 away goals that Betis now need 2 to go through. If they pull one back to make it 6-6 on aggregate, they will not advance. We'll go through on away goals. Alexis heads that away. George Harrison can bring that down. I lift it looking for Chalov, who's brought it down ahead of the defender there. Oh, we could be in again. George Harrison now looking to break away. Could we perhaps make it 4? Oh! So very nearly. So very nearly a 4th. 6-5 on aggregate, and that's going to be the way the game is going to end. We're in stoppage time now at the end of 90 minutes. And with a few seconds to go in game and in real life. We're through to the quarter-finals of the Champions League with a big second leg performance. Oh, that was very, very important that we did that. Very important. To be fair, in the first game, we had more chances than them. They just scored every single shot on target. This time around, we managed to make everything go our way and were able to get the victory. Again, just to confirm for you, I was playing on Ultimate with my sliders. I didn't cheat. It really bugs me that some people accuse me of cheating, because obviously I've never done anything like that. The pureness of my career mode saves is one of the strongest points of the channel. Like, I don't try and cheat and engineer things just for entertainment's sake. If I don't get promoted in an RTG, I don't get promoted. If I lose a cup final or get knocked out early on in a competition, I lose and I get knocked out. I never try and artificially do better than I actually can or should. This is a difficult one. We'll play in the home kit. Oh, do we play in the home kit? What? If they put the white shorts on, then that would be better. Right, Manchester United starting lineup. We'll be as strong as we can be. I have to be. Joao Felix and Luka Jovic. Pogba at cam. With Isco, Dani Ceballos and Julian Draxler in the midfield. That makes sense. At the back, Bayern at right back. Hermoso at centre back. 87 rated Lindelof. Okay. Jose Gaya or Luke Shaw. We'll go with Jose Gaya because he's in there at the minute. And 91 rated David De Gea. Right, Manchester United in the FA Cup. This is a quarter-final rather than getting us through to the quarter-finals. Can we now make it to the semis of the FA Cup? Harrison. I said to Jack Clark, we aren't quite at full stamina here, but obviously we're as strong as we could potentially be, having had the game midweek. Martial will turn, and turn well. Oh, but I can't get this shot away as Romagnoli comes across. He was brilliant for Manchester United when we last played them in the league. We've had a man stay down there. Chalov looking for Harrison, but that rebounded off the defender's legs, and De Gea will grab it. And man, he's still down in the middle, I think. Judging by the mini-map, that triangle there hasn't moved. He's just got to his feet there. I believe it was Joao Felix. Indeed it was. And apparently he's fine now. Doesn't even have the little injury symbol next to him. Real quick. He's so fast. Into the middle. Pogba with a turn. Out to Joao Felix. Into the middle and away by Wan-Bissaka. Get to that. Yes, Shalov. It's a lovely bring down. And we'll look for Harrison through the gap. Dani Ceballos is trying to close me down here. I've got Shalov arriving. It's not the best of balls to him. We'll squeeze that across there to Jack Clark. Here's Kai Havertz. Deflected off Jose Gaya. Great defending. We don't take a 1-0 lead in the FA Cup. Cross comes in from the corner, though. Longley! We do take the lead in the FA Cup. The former Manchester City man scores against United. Moved from Barcelona to City and they saved before we picked him up. And he's put us 1-0 up at Old Trafford in the FA Cup quarter-finals. Are we now just 77 minutes away from a trip to Wembley? Clark. Forward to Wan-Bissaka. Driving down the line. Harrison will look for the run of Chalov. Romagnoli's with me. Here's George Harrison again. I see space. Martial! Good save by David De Gea. 2-0 might have been game over. Really might have put Manchester United to bed there, even at this early stage. As it happens, they're on the counter-attack. They might score themselves. Luka Jovic racing away. Forces the angle horribly against himself. And then loses possession. Oh, that was close to 2-0 there. Really close to 2-0. David De Gea keeping his team in it. Joao Felix turns well. Finds Isco. Back to Julian Draxler. They're quite the team here, Manchester United. Jose Gaya could deliver and does. But Nicolas Sula can only head behind for a corner. Cross to come in from Paul Pogba. They'll take it short. And Gaya delivers. Who did that come off? I'm not sure whether it was Lunin or Wan-Bissaka. Lunin, judging by the fact that the camera zoomed in on him. Again, Jose Gaya plays the corner set piece the same way. George Harrison holds everybody off, and we're looking to accelerate away here. And they might have killed themselves off. I need Bayern to close me down, which he has now done, which opens up the space for Fedor Chalov. There's a second. Deadly counter-attack. Sunderland 2, Man United 0. Are we going to the semis at Wembley? Yes. But cross here to Isco. Back to Bellerin. Delivered well, but away by Wan-Bissaka. Chalov finds Harrison. We'll lay that back there to Jack Clark. Turn well. This is good so far. Chalov. Jack Clark's on the run. We'll look over the top to him. Floated. As the guy brings it down. Clark can't quite steal it off him. Would have picked his pocket there. We could have made it 3 and certainly put the game to bed at this early first half stage. Unfortunately, we haven't yet been able to do so, but 2-0 might well be enough, especially if their build-up play continues to be as poor as it has been so far, Manchester United. They are underperforming here. With a side as strong as theirs is, they certainly should be more competitive than they have been to this point. Although, saying that, our side isn't exactly the worst in the world, is it? There are a number of 90-plus rated players in this team. Chalov isn't 90-plus rated, but has managed to get himself on the score sheet here and couldn't quite bully his way through to maybe look for a third. Kai Havertz back there to Yuri Tielemans. Oh, heavy touch out of his feet. Martial! Just can't seem to score for me in a minute. Harrison across there to Havertz. They've made a change. Gomez has come on at half-time. Jack Clark will find Wan-Bissaka. And Martial is at the back post. Oh, I thought I'd put enough power on that to reach the back post. Play the 1-2 with Yuri Tielemans. Find George Harrison. Tried to do one of the BS first-time hits that the AI does. Unfortunately, it didn't work for me on this occasion, but that was still very well struck. David De Gea was equal to it. Oh, Jovic has done me there. And the 1-2 is on. The 1-2-3 with Gomez, and Jovic brings United back into it. Lunin got something on it, but not enough. Sunderland 2, Manchester United 1. The semi-final place isn't assured yet. Back out wide here to Bellerin. Just doesn't stop running.
It's the goalkeeper's ball.
Lunin bowls that out. Oh, he's throwing it straight at Joao Felix. I was looking for Jack Clark. He didn't put enough elevation on his throw. And now we're in trouble. Gaia with the delivery. They are back to within a goal of us, of course, Manchester United. So we can't be affording to throw possession away that easily and that loosely. Thankfully, we've been able to keep hold of the ball on this occasion and build what might be a move to finish them off and get that 2-goal advantage back again. Kai Havertz was a lunge from the defender. They're getting a bit desperate at the back now. Manchester United. Anthony Martial drops the shoulder, whips it in. Clark's there. Oh, and he's not far away at all from a stunning third goal. And good work as well with Ferland Mendy to create the counter-attacking opportunity. Chalov, Harrison. I've got so many options here. We'll work this out wide here to Jack Clark. See someone at the back post if we can get it to him. De Gea comes to punch well. It'll drop for Yuri Tielemans. Could have shot, didn't. McAllister will. That, just as George Harrison's effort was earlier on, destined for the top corner if it weren't for the intervention of the Spaniard in goal. Still looking for that third that hasn't arrived. And Man United continuing to push forward here. FA Cup quarter-final doesn't go to a replay though. So if they score a second here, United, it will be extra time. Luke Shaw on for Jose Gaia. Desperate to try and keep United out and get ourselves through. I don't know what's happened with the defender there. Just misjudged absolutely everything, as I did with that pass. Oh, mistakes all round. Tired legs for everyone. This game has been played at quite a tempo. The fresh legs of Luke Shaw might be just enough to get Man United back in it. Inside here to Sebastian Haller. There's Dani Ceballos in the middle. Oh, Tielemans, that might be a vital interception. Oh, Bellerin wide. And the win. We're through to the semi-finals of the FA Cup. And also a trip to Wembley. The quest for the treble continues. And we'll try and end the episode by continuing to get victories if we can. It's Crystal Palace coming up next in the Premier League. I'm not sure where in the league at this rate. Oh wow, Liverpool are pulling away. We do have a game in hand though. This game against Palace is a game in hand. So win this and we'll be 6 points behind Liverpool with 9 games to play. But we are going to have to win this game against Palace now. Palace's starting lineup has Altub in goal, Mura, Innis, Yak and Ailton at the back. Blee, Fleeting. Brignola, Sissoko and Cordoba in the midfield with Lanaro and Kamada up top. They're missing one of their better strikers and both their starting centre-backs through injury here, Crystal Palace. They are also the lowest scoring side in the Premier League. So they aren't having the most amazing of seasons at Selhurst Park, and hopefully we can compound their misery here. We're in good form so far in today's episode. But, of course, every other time we seem to play the side that don't score that many goals, they always seem to score a hatful against me. So, I'm not counting my chickens so far. We'll see what they can do in this game, Crystal Palace. Fleeting with the corner. And thankfully, Martial heads away. Not everybody at full fitness again for this one, but it was a similar case against Manchester United, and we still came away with a good victory there. So, we'll try and replicate this one also away from home. Too sure how to attack this Crystal Palace team. It appears through the middle might be the best option George Harrison found, and he certainly was not going to miss from there. 1-0 up in the opening 20 minutes or so. Yes, the 20th minute exactly, in fact. Sunderland 1, Crystal Palace 0. It's been a while since we've had an episode where we've been this strong in every single game. I'm delighted that at the business end of the season, we appear to be hitting a stride of form. Let's keep that going. Early ball in, flicked on nicely. Comfortable enough for Lunin. You have to be wary of Palace. They are, like we say, the lowest goal-scoring team in the league, but at this stage of the season, they have still scored a handful of goals. They're scoring, to be fair, they're scoring on average about 1 goal every game. I think they've scored 27 in the 29 games that we played, or 28 games actually, as this is the game in hand. 28 games that we've played so far. So 1 goal might genuinely not be enough for us here. If they're scoring on average 1 goal a game, then we are on course for, at some point, a Crystal Palace equaliser. So a second is going to be... Oh, Jesus. A second is going to be necessary to ensure victory, you would have thought. And they're playing the ball about really nicely here. And they might get a little bit lucky. They haven't. But I still can't clear the ball away. Brignola Tamura. Here's Sissoko out of Fleeting. Cross comes in. It's blocked off Ferland Mendy. And I can't deny them the corner. Pressing well here, Crystal Palace. They're going to make the pressure pay. Fleeting will take the corner himself. And it's delivered well. Flicked away by Ferland Mendy. Brignola brings it down. In there to Yak. Got to Kamada. Fleeting. Looking for the man in the middle that was free. But we are eventually, I hope, going to be getting this ball away. And indeed we are. Oh dear. That was very heavy Crystal Palace pressure for a prolonged period of time there. Are we actually now going to go up the other end, and after all their pressure and not being able to score, catch them on 1 counter-attack and add a second? Oh, we might be doing so from the penalty spot. Terrible attempted tackle from the left-back, Ailton there, and that is going to be a penalty to Crystal Palace. Jack Clark twisted in, hadn't beaten all ends up, went for the tackle, nowhere near the ball. You know what? Jack Clark can take this penalty himself after winning it, and we'll see exactly what Jack can do. Give us a second goal is what he'll do. That might be game over. Harrison. Chaloff. See the run there of Kai Havertz. I just haven't quite been able to work it to get it to him. Harrison around the corner to Martial and the duck inside. Bend it. Oh, it's a lovely finish. Anthony Martial makes it 3. Palace aren't having the best of seasons. Neither were Cardiff at the beginning of the episode. Both were away from home, so I had to make a decision as to which one to sim and which to play. Turns out we might have made the right decision in which way round we did it. 3-0 to Sunderland. Townsend tops his shoulder well. Oh, it's a great ball in. That's unfortunate for Palace. That was well worked. They could have got themselves a consolation goal there. George Harrison's flattened the defender. And as was the case earlier on, they might have come close to scoring at one end to actually end up conceding at the other. Drew Ewart held his run well. It's blocked nicely by the defender, and we will be... Oh, no, we won't be allowed to take the corner. Because it isn't a corner. You might as well have just blown your final whistle there, ref, because you're going to blow it now anyway. A 4-0 win at Selhurst Park for us, and that will take us up to 2nd in the table, I think. Just behind Liverpool. 6 points will be the gap. They're on 60, we're on 54, although I guess it depends what happens elsewhere. And Liverpool have played and have beaten Chelsea, so we still have a game in hand, which means the gap is now... Oh, excuse the yawn. The gap is 10 points, but we actually have 2 games in hand on Liverpool now. 2 games in hand, so our game in hand on Brighton, which hopefully, well, we can go above them with just a draw, but we'd like to win, of course, to chase down Liverpool. So we could go within 4 points of them when everyone's played 31 games. So if we win all of our games in hand, we'll be 4 points behind Liverpool with 7 games left to play. April, though, is looking like a remarkably busy month, with Leicester, Chelsea, 2 games against Atletico, Man United, Forest, Spurs, and a game against Chelsea in the FA Cup as well to be played. And of course, if we get through against Atletico in the Champions League, there's then going to be semi-final games of that competition played here as well. So it could yet get even busier. There's still a lot of football to be played between now and the end of the season, and we'll wait and see how we get on. But we've certainly made great strides towards giving ourselves the best possible opportunity of winning the treble in this final season at Sunderland. It'd be wonderful to end the FIFA 19 year with 3 trophies in the last season. We'll see what we can do. I'll see you in the next one.